Hello and welcome to Gapeys Garden. I don't care how good of a gardener you are, you're gonna have some fails in the garden, and this year we've had several. So I thought I would share some of those with you today. I've been doing these fail videos every year for the past several years, and I like to do these at the end of the season when the garden is pretty much done. I do have a few peppers here in the greenhouse that still have some peppers on them, surprisingly, and I'll be getting those picked probably all this week. If you've got some garden fails you want to share with me, I'm excited to hear what happened in your garden. Let's take a look at some of our fails. Well, dang it, I just had a big fail. I was getting ready to water my seedlings and I was removing these cups so I could get some water down, and when I was removing this one in this cell, I accidentally pinched the top of the seedling and broke off the top of the seedling. So this one had the seed stuck to the top. Now the seed is removed and so is the top of the seedling, so I don't think this one's going to make it. So our only hope now is this one, unless more of them pop up soon. I was just getting ready for my plant sale and this just happened. All of my kale starts just landed on the ground and I need to pick them back up and sort them all out. I had them in a tray sitting on these two tables that were pushed together a little while ago, and I tried moving one of the tables and down went the tray of kale. I decided to try something different this year and grow some cabbage to harvest in the fall. So that means starting it during the summer. So it has been really hot and I started these outside. This is a Calabrese sprouting cabbage and they were doing pretty good. But it was just getting super hot. So I decided to move my lettuce. This is probably my third or fourth sowing of lettuce this year, and this cabbage into the grow room, and it's not looking good, guys. So something came in and ate the tops, all of the leaves off of all my sprouts. So these had several leaves on them. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. I didn't have any come up in this cell, but there's 6 seedlings in these other cells and they have 0 leaves on them. So I don't think they're going to make it because really they need leaves to survive and these don't have any. So I don't know what the culprit was. I didn't see any pests in here anywhere. But initially these were outside and I made the mistake of bringing them inside, and I think that is what happened. So they probably had some cabbage worms maybe in here that I didn't see, and they just devoured the leaves. I seem to be having some bad luck with brassicas this year. This is the Mamba dinosaur kale, and this is a hybrid, and as you can see it is not doing well at all. Most of the leaves have just kind of shriveled up, dried up. I'm not sure what happened. It has been getting watered. I've got, lettuce growing right next to it doing just fine, and there's another lettuce right here doing just fine. But I don't know, this thing, it just started shriveling up and dying. So I'm going to take a look at the roots and see if I can see anything. I'm not seeing anything that's eating the roots, so I'm not sure what happened, but this thing is toast. We probably had more greens go to flower this year than we ever have before. So these have mostly been going to the chickens. Well, all of it's been going to the chickens, but we still have quite a few of them left. Some of them I am going to save for seeds, like this variegated one. That's really cool. This is a Morton's mix that I got from the Experimental Farm Network, so I'm definitely saving seeds from that one, but probably not these other ones. They are going to go to the chickens eventually, but there's a bunch in the rest of the garden that's also been going to the chickens. But I also wanted to show the cabbage here, so I decided to grow Napa cabbage this year. It's a 1 kilo slow bolt, and I've only got one left, and this one has also gone to seed. So I did manage to harvest 2 of them before they went to flower, but the rest of them, I had a total of 6 in here. So 4 of them ended up not getting used because they bolted. So this is the only one that's left. The others kind of dried up and I put those in the compost already. And then next to this, I've got the sweet peas. So I've got some purple sweet peas here, and I think these are just lacking water. I didn't water this bed as much as I probably should have. I've also got some potatoes in this bed that just volunteered, which are doing okay, but I'm kind of bummed I didn't keep the peas watered more because they're just starting to die, and I didn't get to harvest as many as I would have liked. Well, my Pawpaw seedlings are looking pretty terrible. So I made the mistake of potting these up into some bigger containers because they were in kind of small containers, and they didn't seem to like that. So I added a little bit of compost to the potting soil, and I think the problem is my compost was probably a little too hot, and they look like they're a little burnt. So some of them dropped all of their leaves, like this one, and this one just has one leaf left. That's probably going to drop. So not very good. I also top dressed some of my fig cuttings. Well, I guess all of my fig cuttings and some of my larger figs with the same compost, and our fig cuttings did not like that very much. This one here lost all of its leaves and none have grown back yet. This one lost most of its leaves, and it does have a few new leaves that have come out since then. And this one is actually looking pretty good, but it did lose a few leaves. And the leaves on this one don't look very good at all. And this one, it's never really looked that great. It's got some of that fig mosaic virus, I think, but the compost did not do it any favors. Pretty much all of my paste tomatoes this year have had some issues with blossom end rot. You can see some there. This one is the Federally. I think this one probably did the best out of all the ones that I grew. This one here is the Chipolina's Pride. We've got lots of blossom end rot on some of those tomatoes, and we've got another one here. This one is the Blue Beach, and we've got blossom end rot on a lot of these as well. And I already picked off a whole bunch of blossom end rot tomatoes, but this one here, this Federally, is also the first one to get late blight. So you can see the stem here, it's got that dark brown discoloration. That is late blight. And once it starts, it travels really fast. So you can see it's already starting to affect the tomatoes. I think that's a sign of the late blight. And I'm probably going to rip that tomato out today because I don't want it spreading to the other tomatoes, and it might be too late for that already. But I'm not seeing any blight issues on the other tomatoes. Now, the one tomato that didn't seem to have any problem with the blossom end rot is this Caesar's Castantino de Luca. So this is a different type of paste tomato. This one's totally different shape. It's kind of more of a fat kind of a tomato. So that one didn't do too bad. It did have a little bit of splitting because of some rains that we got, but this one is looking really promising as far as a blossom end rot resistant paste tomato, so I'll probably grow that one again. Now, another fail we have this year is with the cherry tomatoes. So I made the mistake of growing a whole bunch of antho type tomatoes, which are these ones that this one has pretty excessive purpling. But the antho is that dark purple color that tomatoes get. And the mistake is those take a lot longer to ripen than regular tomatoes. So this one here does not have any antho. And we've got a lot of tomatoes that are ripening on that one. And I've got just too many of these antho varieties. These are all Bill Yoder varieties that I grew. And I think almost all, maybe one or two cherry tomatoes I grew this year did not have the antho, but a lot of these are just, I think this is the one that's taken the longest. This one is the So What You Want variety, and I am just now, at the beginning of September, starting to get a few of those to ripen. So next year, I'm definitely not going to grow so many of those type of tomatoes. So I failed this year on my pole beans. I got them in the ground a little late, and I also failed to grow any of the green beans early enough. Most of these are all dry bean varieties, and I've got a ton of dry beans stored from previous years, so I really don't need many dry beans. So I did eventually plant some green beans, but they are much further behind. So this is how big our beans are on our green bean. So this is a tiny little thing. It's early September. I'm sure we'll get some harvest off of these eventually, but it would have been nice to have some green beans earlier in the season. So these are the dry beans here. So they should hopefully dry in the next month or so. But yeah, I'm kind of kicking myself for not growing some green beans earlier in the season. Can't remember if the Peppa Peach made the fail video last year, but it was a fail again this year because last year it didn't get stripes. This year it got stripes, but it's the totally wrong shape. So these are what they're looking like this year. They're supposed to be a lot more kind of fat and round, and these are long and kind of pointy, but at least they got stripes this year. The thing I don't like about this pheno, other than the shape, is that they seem to be a lot thinner walled than what Peppa Peach normally is, which is a thicker walled pepper. So these do not last very long. Once they ripen on the plant, they start getting kind of wrinkly and just a really bad texture, which I don't like those kind of peppers because I like to leave them on the plant for a long time and just harvest them when I feel like it. But these you can't wait too long after they ripen because they're not good very long. I decided to try some long storing tomatoes this year. This is the Piagnolo del Vesuvio, and I gotta say I'm pretty disappointed in these. A lot of these have gone bad and dropped from this cluster, and these were actually green when I harvested them, so I thought they would last longer than that. I do have one here that just dropped today. You can see it's all squishy and it has some mold on it. I thought they would last longer. So these were harvested late in the season, and I have several of these that still look pretty good. This yellow one here, this is the Servant from Bill Yoder. I've got several of these and they're still pretty firm and actually looking really good. These aren't even long storing tomatoes, but they seem to be doing better than the ones that are. This brings us to our last fail of the season. This is our mini long olive ricotta, and it's the end of November and we've had several frosts. No really hard freezes, but this pepper is still kind of hanging in there. It's pretty much dead. It's not going to ripen any pods. But we did not have a single pepper ripen on this plant this year. Ricottas typically take longer to ripen, and I've had them ripen before, but not this year. So I'm going to be taking this out because this guy's pretty much done. I'm surprised there's any still on here, but they have been dropping. As you can see, there's a few on the ground, but I had problems early in the season with this pepper. The rats kept eating the peppers. They eventually started leaving them alone, but I just did not have enough time for any of them to ripen. Well, that is it for this season's fails. Still have a few things in the garden, but it is pretty much done for the year. So I'm sure I'll be doing another one of these at the end of next season. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.